Well, good morning, good morning, good morning. It is 6 minutes past the hour on this 20th day of November. It is Turn Up Thursday, Turn Down for What. Welcome to hashtag Truth Be Told, JD Live, your early morning get up, wake up, information, inspiration, motivation, conversation that promotes elevation. Yours truly, Joe Dupree in the building as we broadcast live on Facebook Live, Instagram, Twitter, X at the JDMS, and on YouTube at 100 BLK Media. Good morning. We made it through Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. Thursday's finally here. Friday, Junior. And welcome, welcome, welcome. I don't know how your week's been going so far, but we are almost at the end. Tomorrow is Friday. Freedom and Fun Friday. For he that the sun sets free is free indeed. Good morning to everybody on Instagram, on YouTube, all our people on Facebook. Good morning to you. I see you. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. Yeah, that part. That part. That part. All right, family. I'm in the building. My guys are going to be coming in the building, and we're going to be talking today about trust and about the foundations of trust and so much other stuff. We're going to have some conversations about. Morning to everyone in here. Let me get some stuff together. I'm never in here by myself, so let me get myself prepared as my brothers begin to make their way in. The craziest thing is, if you have not noticed, in the last, let's call it the last, how we gonna frame it? Literally, in the last 20 years, the media, the propaganda machine, those who are for and those who have been against, have made us distrust certain things that we used to trust. For example, right now, the distrust of government is at an all-time high. And trust me, that is not by happenstance. That is by design. It is by design that we are being propagated, poked and prodded, and promoted into don't trust this, don't trust that. And the craziest thing is, we as black and brown folks, if you remember the old Public Enemy song, Can't Trust This, we have always been in a place where we have not had a lot of trust in a lot of things. Y'all put your hands together. It's my brother, Jason Washington. We are international. He is in Berlin, Germany. He is broke in Berlin. Y'all give it up for my good friend, my good brother. Y'all put your hands together, brother Jason Washington. How you doing this morning, brother Jason? Good morning to you, sir.
I'm doing great, but I am recollecting, is the song Can't Trust This or Can't Trust Them?
No, it's Can't Trust This.
Okay, I had it wrong my entire life.
Yeah. It's can't trust this. Yeah. That's I believe that's not hold it. Public Enemy. I think it Can't Trust This. Oh,
Can't trust
it might
even
be Can't
because
Trust Them.
because if it's
Hold
Can't
on.
Trust that's also like, hey.
Yeah,
But
right. Hold it. And that might be it. It might be I may be wrong. See, once again, listen. Let me
you was
see.
thinking MC Hammer Can't Touch This, and you combined it with Public Enemy, I bet.
I probably did, knowing me.
I got you.
Knowing me, I probably did. Good morning,
But
my
no,
brother.
but you're spot on
How's
because
how,
it's a perfect segue to kind of the topic we're having today because we're told not to trust anybody but the oppressor. We're
right,
told not to trust anybody but the person who more than likely has the poison for us. But
right.
we can't trust other black and brown people because we can't trust trying to politic with Africans because we can't trust them. This whole FBA versus Tether thing. We don't trust nobody but the person who's hurt us the most.
Mm, mm, mm. I'm actually trying to pull this up, family, as we are now talking to make sure, because I may be wrong.
It doesn't matter
Uh,
either way. You still spitting bars and gems, even if the gem is
hold it,
wrong, it's still a gem.
hold it. It's Can't Trust It.
Oh,
That's
we both
actually the
wrong.
name. The name of the song is Can't Trust It. It's TRUSSIT. Can't Trust It.
See, if we was doing typical, we would have had a whole 10-minute argument over who's right, and then somebody would have came on and let us know we both wrong.
But see, here's the beautiful thing about it.
Yeah.
Because, and I tell folks, we too make mistakes, and we have to fess up to it. I'm a Public Enemy fan, but I must not be such a Public Enemy fan because I'm like, can't trust this. No, it's can't trust it. So, and we have to learn how to quickly call out our faults, correct our faults, course correct, and keep it moving. See, that's our problem, in my humble opinion. We too many times dwell on stuff that we should not dwell on. We dwell, we stay in places, we stay in dark places for way too long. And it happens on a daily basis in Black and brown households. It happens in Black and brown relationships. It don't only happen in relationships between men and women. It happens in relationships between men who are friends, women who are friends. It happens sometimes in jobs. Sometimes we get in a job, we shouldn't be in that job. Not as long as we're in that job, but we stay in that job. And at the end of the day, it's because, and let's put our hands together also for our resident Lamar Burton, our Laurel Scholar that says reading is fundamental. Y'all give it up for Sean P. and the Sean P. Experience from the Griot Podcast. What book you got there, Sean?
What's going on, folks? How y'all doing? Good morning, man. Just continuing from yesterday's conversation, we talk about three things real fast, real quick fashion, right? This is the conspiracy to destroy Black boys. The conspiracy to destroy Black boys. Also, I want to mention Dr. Amos Wilson, The Psychology of Black on Black Violence. And then lastly, Dr. Wesley Muhammad, Understanding the Assault of the Black Man and the Black Child. My point is, our ancestors and our elders gave us the blueprint to all the things that we are pondering and pontificating about. If you just sit down and see the blueprint that they gave us, there's no need for a big old round table, get some cigars, what we gonna do, how we gonna change the community. They already gave us everything we needed, and we only followed the instructions. I'm gonna start off like that.
Well, Brother Sean P., Brother Washington, Broken Berlin. I got my good brother in Germany, got my brother here, well-traveled, well-versed scholar. Hopefully we'll have Brother Cope come on a little bit later as we continue this conversation. But Brother Washington brought up something yesterday that we've got to go down this rabbit hole. The first person that we learned to lie to was the first person we were in love with. Let me say that again. This is not just a Black man thing. This is mostly every man thing. Black, green, blue, purple with antennas on their head. The first person you fell in love with was the first person you had to lie to, which was your mother. And most of us know this. We lied to our mother. Our mother said something, and it was a little white lie. It was a little white lie. See, did you do your homework?
You want to keep mama happy, right? You lie. We learned at an early age to keep women happy, we have to lie to them.
Go down that rabbit hole, Brother Jason. I want to hear your, I really want to hear what you got to say on this one. Then I got to come to Sean P. Because Sean P. is a student and a teacher of psychology. And this is where we as the Black, see, Broken Berlin really should show y'all why a lot of us are broken in our houses, broken in our relationships, because we have not come to full circle of how all this brokenness starts. It's crazy that we are literally sick folks trying to walk around and act like we well. Brother Broken Berlin, the mic is yours.
I'm gonna be super quick because I know Sean has so much on his brain he don't want to. But again, I was having a conversation after we ended the show and kind of and I was speaking with a few ladies, and we really kind of came to the conclusion that, and it took a lot of onion pulling, but and layer, but eventually I kind of got the women to understand and agree that they don't want honesty because honesty hurts. And think about it when we were children. Hey, Joe, did you do your homework? No, Mama. Why not? because I didn't want to. Well, you better do it. And then that's where the lie comes, because essentially you already told her, Mom, I don't want to do this. I want to do something else. You spoke your truth. I want to be outside and sporting. I want to be playing baseball. And so at 6 years old, you learning, okay, if I want to do what I want to do and keep mama happy, I have to lie. I'm already having this conversation with my 6-year-old and 8-year-old about, hey, why are you lying to your mother? And they very logically tell me, because mom flips out if you tell her the truth. And I can't even be a hypocrite and say, don't you lie to your mother, because I left their mother for her emotions and her not being able to handle shit. So then I'm putting my kids back into it. I can't be a liar and say, no, you always tell your mother the truth when I couldn't do it. And my kid, at least I had the power to leave. They can't leave. So if they're in that environment, if they want to keep their mother happy, I had to tell my children, you got to lie to her. And that's not wrong, because she just wants to be happy. So I think a lot of times women will be happier in the lie than in the reality, especially when it comes from children to mother. This is why
Hold
it's
on.
very important, I think, for the father to be in the house, to be the kind of the keep, because the father will call out the lies. And at the same time, he'll also help the mother dissect and understand why the children are lying to her in the first place. It's essential that a father's in the home to be that liaison. And in our community, he's not.
The absence of fathers in households. So a word I keep hearing propagate in my head is peace. See, there has to be somebody who can negotiate, usher in, and balance out the peace. And see, most of the times, because some things are not meant to function in a certain manner. Like, for example, it's hard to take an alternator and make it do what an oil pump does. That's for my mechanic guys. You can take an alternator and it's hard to make it do what an oil pump does. But if you really have to do it in order to get that car to move, there's some way you're going to have to wire it and work it to make it somewhat do what the other was supposed to do in its absence, until you can either get it or just learn how to make do. See, that's what we've been doing in the Black family. Black mothers are not supposed to function the way they are functioning in these days and times, though we have made it popular. We have made it popular to be a single Black mom. We have made it popular to be manless. We have made it popular to make men like yourself and Sean and myself and brother Cope and other men out there sperm donors. See, we have made it popular not for us to be fathers and men, but sperm donors. That we are the ones who plant the seed, but it's their kids. We ain't really got these are even when hold it. And here's the craziest thing. And I'm gonna go to Shine now. I see this in households where the father is in the household. I see wives talk about, they don't say our kids. They say my kids. Brother Sean P.
Yeah, I wanted to add on to what the broken bro Lynn said, man. Like a lot of times in the household, I was in my grandfather's household, my father's household. The guy was the balance once again. Whenever a tragedy happens or something drastic happens, the misconception that we don't have emotions, we don't have feelings, we don't have anxiety, and fear is not true. It's just in this moment, I can't afford to express my anxiety about what just happened. I saw it like you saw it. I feel the same emotion you feel, but if you off the handle about it, somebody has to be the okay. Like in football, the quarterback say, hey, settle it down, settle down, settle down. And there was a tragedy when all these emotions happen, and somebody still got to be able to think clearly. Still got to do this, still got to do that. The kids still need this. While we're depressed and we sad and we sulking, certain things still got to happen in everyday life. Because life don't stop because of tragedy. Somebody has to carry that burden and do it. And that both of us are high strung and just emotional, those things won't happen. And so the households that don't have that stabilizer, that common thing, that's bad for those kids, man. That's
Forget the tragedy. What if it's just like, what about when when it's her time of the month? Now, the father is supposed to be in there. Look, it's biology. She's not. Okay. So a father is supposed to be in the house during that time to maybe kind of take the kids away for a bit. make it easier for her. So, but if that's not there, then the children are operating in that. And we as men have operated with women when that time comes, and it's, but we expect our kids to be okay in that?
It's hard to bring peace and civility to a dysfunctional situation. It's hard to find peace in the midst of chaos and confusion. And we can look at this from so many aspects. If we go into some of our impoverished neighborhoods that are majority Black and brown, and it's hard to get into a place where you can say, I have productivity in the midst of all this chaos, confusion, and utter Lord knows what's going to happen next. You know, you've got, for a prime example, I live in a small municipality. It's not that small, but it is small in the comparison of the world scheme of things. In the state of Louisiana, I believe we're the number 5th largest city in the state. However, we have a noise ordinance that one of our councilmen is actually speaking about in the district I live in. Why? Because at 2 or 3 in the morning, when folks should be sleeping and getting rest, folks are playing loud music and things are going on to disturb the time of your refreshing. See, here's the thing. Chaos in our communities is needed to keep us not refreshed, not at a place where we've got plenty of rest. See, because when you haven't got enough nourishment and enough rest, it's hard to concentrate on anything.
So, Joe, back to psychology. When I was in environmental psychology class, right? They talked about the data they have on children that live next to highways, that live next to airports, that live next to trains, and their ability to concentrate, retain information, do good on standardized tests, all that stuff compromised, Joe. But guess what? Whenever they're building our cities, they put us right down near what? The subway, we near the trains, we near all of this. So I'm in class reading this stuff, thinking about all of our communities, like, wow, this is really on purpose. And then they'll say, what? Look at their school scores, Joe. Look at their school, look at their performance. But look how y'all orchestrated this thing behind the scenes. Politics, right? So that noise thing is important, man.
Now, even when you go micro level lower with just the constant sirens, the constant loud, the constant bass, that random. It's all, when you're in school, that's nothing but I remember being in school. You can't focus. You're constantly walking and distracted versus maybe seeing what's the reality that's in you. You're always hearing sirens. You always maybe hear some shots. Like, you can never truly.
What about that?
Relax.
Always gunshots? Come on, Joe. Yeah. You know about that. So you have PTSD unbeknownst to you. You always around gunshots.
So I have people reaching out for me right now, and somebody wanted me to, and I'm going to say this, and it's not going to be pretty. I am, and folks, I don't need you to be my friend. I don't need you to like me with what I'm about to say. It does very much connect to what we're talking about right now. I am tired of seeing folks who had a silver spoon in their mouth, especially when they are women, especially when they are Caucasian women, who you don't know how it feels one day to be in the struggle of a Black American in this country, but you want to compare your struggle to our struggle. I got a problem with that, family. See, that's another lie they try to tell us, that we are the same. No, we're not the same. No, we're not the same. No, you're nothing like us. But then you want to sit there and you want to, and I hate that. I hate when anybody tries to make it seem like the same thing you went through, I went through, because I'm a woman. Hold it. Now, if you're a Black woman, I'm going to back up for a minute. Because here's the thing I do know. Not only are you dealing with the everyday isms of being a woman, you got compounded on that, you Black. So you got every day what Black men go through and the women stuff. But guess what? We as a Black unit go through a lot. But to hear privilege, man, when I sit there and I had heard a privileged Caucasian woman try to say, you don't know how it feels to go through what I go through. Well, let me ask you this. How does it feel to go to a private school? How does it feel to wake up in the morning and not have hunger? How does it feel to know not how it feels to eat ramen noodles? How does it feel not to know how to have an EBT card or be on SNAP benefits? How does it feel to wake up every morning in a nice neighborhood where you can be at the bus stop and you ain't got to be at the bus stop like this because somebody might be provocated to fight you today? How does it feel to do all these things? No, your biggest problem is whose house y'all going toilet paper for homecoming. Come on, stop the malarkey. I'm sick and tired of being sick and tired. And I'm sick and tired of folks trying to convince me you done been through what I've been through. You're not like me. I don't even know why I voted for you. And I have not voted for anyone who has not been through what I've been through.
I say it's the same thing for homosexual men will do the same thing. Will say like, well, my struggle is just like yours as a black man. And I'm like, no, white man, it's not. Just because you're gay does not mean you have any iota of what my experience is. And we did not share the same struggle, but their struggle, because our community and our love for that community is so that they are allowed to supersede our struggle. And that's the reality now in the last 15 years. And the majority of the black women in our culture have aligned with them versus us. And it's understandable, but we have to get to that point and get that understood that they rock with them way more than they want to rock. They build with them way more than they want to build with us.
So let me say this, and y'all ain't gonna like it. John, move your camera over just a little. We've got to stand on reality. My ancestors, the bloodline I come from, did not come to this country on their own cognizance. They did not build ships and come over here on their own. They were enslaved people who were brought over here for free labor, and they were not brought here by their own will. My ancestors were raped, murdered, hung. They were castrated. They were branded. If your ancestors have not had these things happen because they were brought over here as property, don't compare what you're going through to what I went through, because you ain't been through nothing. Period. Now, if you don't like it, pick up my phone. My number runs across the bottom of the screen and talk to me about it, where I can tell you, don't you ever again in your life open up your mouth and try to say, oh, if you only knew what I go through because I'm a white woman dealing with this, whatever. I don't want to hear that. I don't want to hear that. You, my friend, have did nothing all your life but dealt with privilege. Even when you may have been poor and white, you were always considered more than somebody who was black, especially if you were born in the 50s, the 60s, or the 70s. Because guess what? In the South, it has always been a level of Jim Crowism and prejudice that still resonates to this day. So don't try to tell me because I had, no, whatever you had to deal with as a woman multiplied times a million, that's what I had to deal with as a black person.
Do you think that black women would agree with that statement that you just made?
Yes, I absolutely
majority.
Brother Bowtie, good morning. Good morning. Y'all give it up in Yayo, Dade County. Scholar himself, Brother Bowtie, is in the building. We're about to get it started, y'all. We're about to get it started. Listen.
Good morning, gentlemen.
Some black women will agree. Some black women won't, because guess what? And listen, somebody right now gonna be in my inbox and say, "Ooh, Joe, you talking kind of strong." Because last time I checked, don't you have a child? Yes, I have a child from a Caucasian woman who is European. My son, but watch this. This came from a time when I did not know what I know today, and you can't stop who you love. Okay, I wasn't with her because she was white. I was with her because I loved her. And at that time in my life, all I knew was love. I knew a lot of lust too. It wasn't all love. A lot of it was lust too. So let's call it what it is. And
Yeah.
we produced a child. That's another thing we got to start doing as men. Start talking to our younger men about, listen, you're not ready to be a father yet. Somebody should have told me back then, hey, bruh, I understand you love her. I understand you say you love her. I understand what you're doing, but you're not ready to be a father yet. See, a lot of our brokenness comes from the lie that we tell ourselves that we're ready for things that we ain't ready for. Brother Bowtie, welcome. Get into it, man. Let's go.
Good morning.
Hold
Good
on,
morning,
brother
gentlemen.
Bowtie coming in like he's 1990s Tommy Hilfiger. What is this? What's going on, sir? Hold on now. Where's the fedora? Where
I know, right? Or
you
the bow
coming in
tie,
like
right?
you got those $4 green packs in your inside pocket, man? What's going on?
Nah, man, it's Miami. You know, we have
Okay.
12 months of summer, should I say. So I was reminded
I
today
feel
when
you.
I stepped out this morning that don't wear a suit. That's why I made a comment, say I'd be on in 3 or 4 minutes. I had to change clothes. But anyway, nonetheless, to start the conversation off, how Brother Broken Berlin started the conversation off. He mentioned something. He said the first person that we lie to is our mom because we want to keep our mama happy. But he left something out which is very, very important. We learn to lie from our mama. And our mama is the first person to lie to us. And we just learned that, oh, this is how it's supposed to go. So we say things that what's in favor of you being happy,
Woo,
just like our mama say things in favor of us being happy, you know.
woo.
But yeah, a lot of our feminine ways that we have as men, whether it's us arguing or whether it's lying or us manipulating, our master was our mother. If we really think about our fatherhood or those who have fathers in their life, our daddy barely lied to us. Matter of fact, I don't even recall my daddy ever lying to me. He was just as blunt as possible. Like, he used to hurt my soul, but he'll tell me, man up. You asked me how I look, I said that shit ugly. Now take it off. Like, damn, daddy, I just worked my whole summer job to buy this shirt that you said is ugly, but it's just how they was, you know.
You try to impress dad with that Coogee sweater, right?
Yeah.
Mm.
At
Now
that time it was Bo
he
Cow.
had that Theo Hustable. He had that Theo Hustable.
But yeah, you know, so we learn our lies and our manipulation and our frustration. We learn these attributes from our mother. We don't learn these from our dad. You know,
That's a very great
if any
point.
man say that they dad taught them how to lie or have an attitude or argue back and woman, like nah, and I'm just gonna keep it 100, you know. If you was born in the 70s or 80s, no disrespect, Joe. We know for sure our daddy didn't argue back with our mama. To be honest with you, that's no disrespect, but those was those Ike days. That's those men who didn't mind arguing with a woman or grabbing a woman or you know. So
Yeah.
they
And,
didn't
and they
argue
got
with a
hold it,
woman.
and they got it from the 60s. They got it from the
Yeah,
50s and the 60s because
got
that's
you.
when Ike and Tina was in full effect. Nutbush, Tennessee. I told you I'm from Tennessee. More letters because we
Yeah,
more better. But listen, family, it is. Y'all got to
We
catch
learned a
this.
lot from our mothers, but our uncles helped us master it.
Hold it. No, what our mothers taught us was we had a lot of uncles that we come to
Mhm.
grow up and find out we didn't have a lot of uncles. See, once again, hold on. So look, we
Okay,
gotta
good
call it
point.
what we gotta call a spade a spade. You know,
yeah.
hold it. You can like it, leave it, or love it. Now we're gonna have some real adult talk here. It's 35 minutes past the hour. So don't put the kiddies on. Don't have the kiddies around this thing right now. Listen, but JJ has been running us Negroes raggedy since we found out what JJ was. It's been running us Negroes raggedy. When I say raggedy, completely raggedy. Hold it. Men are simple. Give us some JJ, feed us, and allow us to sleep and get a little rest. And we gonna be mostly all right. Feed us the JJ and give us a little peace and sleep. Most men will be all right. That's what. Now that's the man list. That's hold it. Most men don't have a list deeper than 5 things that they
No,
need
we
to
don't.
be
We
all
don't.
right. Hold it.
What,
I just
Joe,
mentioned, hold on. But a
Joe, you gotta
woman's
add
list.
sports.
Hold on. But a woman's list,
Mm.
you got to have a credit score of over 800. You got
Gotta
to
be
be the
6 feet.
CEO of a company. You
Gotta
got to
be
be tall,
60.
dark, and handsome.
Mm.
You hold it. And here's the thing: the women who normally have a list that's about 50, 60 deep, they themselves ain't got. Let me go old school 60. Ain't got a
Up
pot to piss in or a
in the
window to
window
throw
to
it
throw
out
it
of.
out.
But they hold it. They cannot afford to go to Ruth Chris, but they demand that you take them there.
Mm.
They cannot afford to buy real Louis Gucci, but they demand that you better get them some. They
Mm.
cannot afford to pay the note on a BMW or Mercedes, but they demand that you better pick them up in one.
And you're not a man if you don't do it.
Say, don't say that again, Broken Berlin.
You're not a man if you don't do it.
Or
So,
you
watch
broke
right.
in
Right.
Berlin or in the United States. If you can't do it.
So hold on. You not only broke in Berlin, you broke, period. But here's the thing. Since when did hold it? And don't get me wrong, somebody gonna laugh and say, Joe, it's been that way since the beginning of time. The JJ gonna cost you either legally or illegally, but it's gonna cost you.
Yeah,
We've
it's
been
gonna cost you.
paying. Hold it. Men, see, that's why they need to legalize like in Europe. See, Broken Berlin lives in a country where prostitution is legal. Be exact, it's not only legal, it is legislated by the government. Hold on.
And
Hold it.
it's promoted. It's
and
promoted.
promoted.
Yes.
Hold on. So he lives in Germany. Germany, prostitution is legal. Hold it. Not only is prostitution legal in Germany, prostitution is legal in Europe, period. And it is promoted and legislated and managed by the Department of Health. It has
You're
been
not
that
lying.
way for decades. It was that way when I was young and a part of the military and stationed in Germany, because the first thing they would do is sit you down when you got to a German, as they call it, a German barracks, wherever it was. When I was stationed in Nuremberg, the first day and the first week of your orientation, they would sit you down and say, hey, man, they got a place here called the Red Light District. Now, you are welcome to go there. However, understand, if you go there drunk or you do something that is unbecoming to an officer or a enlisted person, you will be held to the full level of the law by military standards of the Uniform Code of Military Justice. You can go, you can spend your little coins, but you better not go there and choke a chick. You better not go there and be drunk and cause a ruckus, because the MPs will come get you and you will be held to the full level of the law. So I remember as a young officer, I had to sit there and say, wait a minute. Are y'all saying to me in so many words, and I never forget this. Knock on wood.
I say why.
Hold on. Knock on wood right now. I never forget Captain Thomason telling me the following. I said, sir, are you telling me I can go buy some for JJ? He said, son, you've been buying for JJ all your life. You just didn't know you were purchasing it. He said,
was Officer Thomas a brother or a white guy? I got it. No, that was white game. That was white game, wasn't it?
Hold it. He was 100% white boy. And he said, man, listen,
that's
you've
white
been
game
buying
right
for
there.
JJ all your life. You just didn't know it.
Go ahead, Sean.
I got a question for the chat, these fellas, right? For some of the ladies that's watching this. So for some of the ladies that have a guy in the house, just so the kids can see a man and so the kids can be around the guy. But let's say it's not the best guy. What do you think the kids are picking up on seeing that, witnessing that? What's the end result of that kind of a situation, in your opinion?
Sean, hold on. I'm going to go to Broken Berlin and the Brother Bowtie. They ain't got to have a guy in the house that's not doing right. All they got to do is set their kids in front of the TV and let them watch Power. We glorify gangsters. We glorify drug dealers. We glorify folks doing wrong. To be exact, if you go right now to most black communities, the folks who are, the folks who are driving the nicest cars, and most of the folks that are doing the biggest things in some shape, form, or fashion got their hands in something that is nefarious. Now, they might not look like it. You might see them hanging around some important government folk. You might see them hanging around a few. But listen, everybody is watching BMF and they watching Power because that's what's really happening. Listen, the pastor on the tape. Hold on. The pastor ain't got a problem. The pastor will preach. He will preach that living a life not like the Bible ain't right, but the organ player will be giving the googly eyes to some other brother in the choir. Oh, he'll preach. He'll preach one thing, but if the dope dealer is the one coming into church giving up the tithes and offering, guess what? He ain't preaching against the dope dealer. Hear what he's doing? He's doing like Snoop does in BMF. Brother, come on and cut that check. Thank you. See, that's what we got to get down to the nitty gritty.
Joe, that's when they turn in the other cheek.
Oh, okay.
We got the drug dealers on the right side, so let me face it to the left side.
Let me work with them because they change is coming. No, they change is coming to the church. That's the change that's coming. They change ain't coming. But the change is coming. Come on, stop with the
you can't expect the preacher to turn away God. In our community, money is our God.
But I posed the question because I've heard sisters tell me that a guy might not be that good in their life, but they're like, well, for the kids, and for the sake of the kids. And I'm like, when those kids be grown, and y'all can have a sit-down conversation, and they're going to recall things they heard or saw, it's not going to be what you think.
I think the women I think the women's perspective of it.
Shut up.
Oh, my fault.
I'm getting ready to shut up. I'm out. Listen to this. I was born in 1967. I was adopted by a sharecropper who could barely read or write, and his wife who could barely read or write. Mr. Lois Anderson was born in 1910. Miss Earlene Anderson was born in 1923. In my time of living with the Andersons as their son, my dad many a time would, my dad, I was the first person to drive an automobile in my family. Not that my daddy couldn't drive, he had a tractor. That was his means of operation and his means of money. He didn't care about a car, a truck. All he cared about was that tractor because that's all he knew. When I first have a recollection of me being adopted, my dad was working a mule on 100 acres of land. Now listen to what I'm about to tell you. Later in my life, my daddy would have me hang around a few of my aunties. I ain't gonna mention no names because I'm from a small town and I don't want nobody going, Joe. When my daddy passed away, I realized them ain't my aunties. Now, let me give you one better. My mother had a couple of friends. They weren't my uncle, they were her friends. And I come to find out, because I remember I came home one time and I walked in the house and one of her friends was in the house and said, son, let me talk to you. And I was like, Mama, what Mr. So-and-so doing in the house? He said, well, son, we need to have a word with you. Now, this is after my dad had passed away. This was actually 3 months after my dad had passed away.
Yeesh.
I wasn't the happiest person in the world, but now at 58 years old, I look back and I realized something. I was wrong and I was blind to what was going on because I was living in a fantasy world that they had propagated for me, that they didn't want me to see the problems that they had in the house. I never saw my mom and dad argue when they were going to have an adult conversation. They got me out the house and I went over to one of my real auntie's house, uncle's house, and I spent the night. Whatever they had to work out, they worked it out with me not in the house. So I never saw them arguing, fussing. These days in time, I see parents cussing each other out right in front of the kids. I see parents fighting each other right in front of the kids. Then you want to know why little Johnny and Jane at school wanting to fight everybody. Hell, y'all done showed them the path. Y'all hold it. As the Mandalorian said, this is not the way. We got to get better with our parenting skills. And we got to get to a place that sometime in this evolution we talked about yesterday, we leave behind some stuff that we should have took with us. One of the things we should have took with us from our ancestors is some things the kids don't need to be exposed to. They're too young to be exposed to this.
Well,
And
Joe,
I just wanted to respond to
if what
Sean
you
real
say
quick
is
about his
true,
point.
Joe, then we
Oh,
have to go back to
okay.
the drawing board with a lot of things that actually give our kids some kind of what advantages. Just in my take, I believe cell phones are very dangerous for our kids because now you can't lie to your kids no more. If your child come up to you and say, "Daddy, what's head? What's oral sex?" and you say, "Ah, don't worry about that. Head is your head. Just touch your head." And then they ask Chat GPT, and ChatGPT
Mm,
show images and give a full definition, and it goes on to what you know with ChatGPT. When you ask it something, it answers, then it asks you three more questions. Then at the end say, "Do you want to know what sloppy head is? Do you want to know what deep throat is?" But all this could have been avoided if you told your child truth, or you would have told your child, "Don't worry about that. You got more things to worry about." But I think the cell phones are very, very, very dangerous for any child under seventh grade.
Hold,
I
hold
don't
on,
think no
family.
child.
Family, once again, let me be quiet. The problem is not the device. The problem is we have not paired our children to deal with the information that they are getting in today's times. See, understand this. Understand this. The same things that's going on right now was going on back in the 60s, was going on back when I was a kid. See, I was a kid of the late 70s and the early 80s. I graduated high school in 1985. Some of you probably wasn't even born in 85. But understand the
Relax, Joe. Don't be
following.
throwing those shots at me, Joe.
Oh, hold on,
I know
hold
I
on.
was born in '85.
Hold on. But catch what I'm saying. The same things were going on back when I was in high school. It's just it's been intensified because the information overload gives you more access. Understand this. We were sneaking and freaking back in junior high and high school when I was coming up.
mm.
It's just we
But
didn't
you
have
know
as much
the
information because the only way you could get access to a lot of information, you had to have Encyclopedia Britannica. See, back in the day, the way we found out about sneaking and freaking and all this stuff is at the grocery store, at certain stores, they had Playboy, Penthouse, these magazines that every once in a while some of the bad kids knew how to get in touch, how to get a hold of them because dad might have had them or mom might have had them. Somebody had them in the house, or they themselves figured out a way how to get them. And they would say, "Hey, man, did you see this in the magazine? See, this is the magazine now."
yeah.
And
Yeah.
you
And it
can
was crazy,
Google and
Joe.
show everything. Hold it. I can go right now on my Instagram live feed. I can go on my
Mhm.
Facebook. There are so many sexual innuendos on this thing that is going to our eye gates on a daily basis. I can literally, there is some female right now in front of a mirror, some brother buffed up, and all they doing, like I said, we've been buying for JJ for. Hey, brother told me, Cap told me, the captain said, "Bro, you've been buying for JJ all your life." Guess what? When you looking at them pictures that they posting, guess what they selling? Guess what they selling? They ain't selling their intellect.
No.
They didn't write a dissertation on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, X. I rest my case. Go ahead, gentlemen. Let me shut up.
Let me just ask Sean real quick because you got a little bit of information about this as a child psychologist. Because you're saying that essentially, men in the house and if the man is a bad husband but a good father, I think that he should still be in the house. I think that as a community, again, to make things easier, if the breakup happens, fine. But I think it makes logical sense to stay together in the house, and if we could get our emotions out of it, lady, you go have your sexual relations when you want to go have them, when you go see your guy friend, and I'll go have my sexual relationship with a woman. Like we're not broken up. We're still in the house together, but we're only in the house together to raise the children. But we're not lying to the children about it. Do you think that would be a better uh, blueprint for the community? Meaning that we're not even thinking about marriage anymore. It's just essentially, no matter what, we're going to be in the house and do the yin and yang together. We're not arguing. We're not doing. Could that be an actual solution? Because it saves money. It helps the children by having the duality in the household, so the father can be there on a day-to-day basis to try to keep the balance. And if we could keep our sexual nature if we say, we're not that anymore, but I'm still in the house, we're still doing this, but you go do your thing when it's time for you to go do your thing, I'll go do my thing when it's time to do my thing, we're only in this. And we're not showing the kids that we're not in love, because we're in love because we made the kids Could that be an actual solution, or are we too emotional to try to actually do this?
Yeah, what I want to say earlier, I think as adults and parents, we underestimate how much our children see more than we think they see. They hear more than we think they hear, and more than any of that vibrational energy, man. It don't take you fussing and cussing with the woman. A child can feel whenever that energy and that adversarial energy is in the house.
Right,
Child can
but
feel
but
whenever
if you're
y'all not. I'm sorry.
but they see that because you're lying to each other. You're trying to lie and say that we're still, and that's why if you just, hey, this is your mother, I'm your father, we used to be in love, it's over, but we love each other and how I love her as a mother, she loves me as a
Oh,
father.
how you
I
doing,
may
man?
not love her as a wife, she may
Okay.
not love me as a husband, but I know she's a damn good mother. She knows I'm a damn good father, and that's why we're still in the house together to give you the best versions of us.
I think that we're asking for a couple of murder cases if that,
Well,
because I don't think that
there's
we're
murder cases
emotional enough
anyway.
to
It doesn't
get.
matter. There's murder cases in co-parenting.
However, though,
There's murder.
on a
There's murder
serious
no
note,
matter what.
here's my angle on this.
Okay,
Oftentimes, like, can I be transparent,
Come on, talk
absolutely.
to us.
please?
Talk to us.
So, oftentimes, most men are real great men, and most women only leaves the man for cheating. He cheated on you, I understand. He hurt your feeling emotions. But is he there for everything else? Does he make you feel good? Does he speak life into you? Does he provide order, structure, and discipline for the children? Does he have a future plan for you and the children? So pretty much, they know this man has 80, 90% of good attributes that they want, but they can't deal with him cheating. And what they would do, they would leave this man for cheating and go to another man that's going to cheat and go to another man that's going to cheat, then leave him and go to another man that's going to cheat. Instead of looking back and say all the while, like, I just could have stayed with this man and, either forgave him for cheating, spoke with him about cheating and said, hey, let's try to fix this, let's try to order the situation. And I'm just going to speak to me, for example, I'm using myself. I left my baby mother when my baby was 7 months, my baby 21 now, because I got tired of her nagging and her insecurities. And I have to be honest, I've been separated from my baby mother for 19 years. And I have had successful relationships, so has she. Um, but there's not a woman that I didn't run into that didn't have insecurity issues or wasn't arguing with me about something. So when I look back, I always say the same thing. If my baby mama was married, I would go back to her and just deal with her shit the rest of my life. Because I know still to this day, my oldest son, he don't like me to date no woman. He still want his mom and daddy together. He's 23 years old,
Mm.
but we're not running for nothing. So the woman that leaves the man, that provides order, structure, and discipline, that makes her feel good and makes her good, she's not running for nothing. She's running into something. And we all know, we men, there's 4 men on here, there's 4 horsemen on here. We know that there's more dogs in the street than there is in the house.
So
Because
hold on.
men keep their dogs outside. We don't keep their
Hold on,
dogs in
hold
the
on. And
inside.
I'm glad you brought that example. So let me tell you the biggest lie that's been told to us as men. That we the fault.
Mm.
That's the biggest lie that's been told to us. And guess what? Even the good book, they don't really tell you that even in the good book, for those who read, they always make it seem like we were the fault. That's a lie. Because let me tell you something. A dog will poo in your yard and you will raise more hell than a little bit. I know because I got some little dogs running around that is pooing in my yard right now. And I'm hotter than fish grease. However, I got about 7 cats that walk around and I'm pretty sure they are defecating too. It's just that they're covering all their defecating up. So watch this. Women cheat as much or if not more than men, period. Because when a woman makes her mind, let me show you the difference between a man. We 4 horsemen, Broken Berlin, Sean P, and Brother Bowtie. The bro code, no matter how fine Broken Berlin, Sean P, or Brother Bowtie's wife, girlfriend, or ex is, guess what Joe Dupree ain't gonna do with the bro code?
Mm-hmm.
My
They off
hands off
limits.
of them. Hold on. Now, let's flip that if this wasn't the bro code and this was quote unquote the queens with the crowns on their head. Let me tell you something. If a woman wants your man, that's a wrap. I don't care if it's your sister, your mama, your auntie. I don't care if y'all best of friends. Once some woman make up her mind that she want to get what she want to get, ain't nothing stopping her from getting it. Now, you might never know she got it. She may always still be your girl and smile in your face and y'all hang out. But guess what? There's a lot of girlfriends out there that done slept with their best friend's husband, done slept with their best friend's daddy, done slept with their best friend's brother, done slept with their best friend's uncle, and ain't said a word because they made up their mind. See, it's a different code between women and men, but we are always provocated that we are the grand cheaters and the grand architects of cheating.
Mm-hmm.
To be exact, right now, if one of us got caught cheating, the first thing that would be said is, now, hold on, listen to what would be said if the conversation went down. If we get caught cheating, oh girl, they dogs. That's what they do. You gonna be all right. But if they get caught cheating, the first thing that comes out their mouth is, what did he do?
He do. Mm-hmm.
To make you go and do that? That's the
Well,
biggest lie that has ever been told. Let me tell you something. I'm up on game now, baby. Guess what? They cheat just as much as we do. And because some of them don't have a problem with cheating with each other. See, I'm not going to go sleep with Broken Berlin. I ain't going to go and try to have a sexual relationship with Bowtie or Sean P. But women say, oh, no problem. You want to go out there and cheat with me with another woman? I'm going to sleep with my girlfriend.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's also, but I do have to say, ooh, no, that's so true. Yeah, you gotta watch your female, you gotta watch your ladies, female friends.
And
You're so right about that.
That single mothers group, that's what a lot of them do. You know, they carpet.
But I do have to say this real quick, Joe. This is your era. No, there is no bro code anymore. Men my age and younger, your cousins will smash your girl if she's fine enough. No, there is no more bro code, and everybody's snitching. So no snitching, and it's gone. It's gone.
Watch this. I can go right now with my microphone, leave off this podcast, and go back on live, and I can go and run into 15 women, and I can put a mic in their face and say, hey, let me ask you a question. Could you live on a planet with all women? If I interviewed 25 women right now and said, could you live on a planet with all women? I promise you 20 of them would say, yes, I can. Yeah. If I interviewed 150 men and said, could you live on a planet with all men? 100.
What for?
Unless they were gay. Unless they had something really mentally
even
wrong.
Even the gay dudes don't want to be around men that much.
They would be like, hell no, I ain't living on a planet with all men. You must
gay dudes don't, they know that the gay dudes know if they went to a planet with men, they got to do a whole lot of extra work. They don't want to go there either. Shit.
But you know, Joe, when we look at it, it goes back to the origin of the conversation of being lied and manipulated. All these things come from women. A lot of poison in our community come from women. And I get it. We're allowed them to do a lot of shit. We're allowed them to do a lot of shit. And when you look at it, we're allowed to do a lot of shit because when you go back to the 50s, 60s, 40s, we pretty much had father and mother parental coalition. So oftentimes we already know that women outnumber men. So oftentimes that lady down the street will be flirting with the husband or trying to get the husband, everything like that. And he end up doing whatever he needs to do, whatever. However, though, it goes back to what I was trying to say, the origin of my statement. When you look back when you were a child, you always discipline your daughter and you always provide structure for your daughter, men and women. The mama there telling her that she can't have a man, but she teaches her how to be manipulative and all this other kind of stuff. The daddy make sure that she can't have no damn boyfriend until she's 35 years old. That's just how all daddies do. Yeah. But on the flip side, when you take away the father and you have it as a single mother household, the mother still does the same thing. It's just that she endorses her son with bullshit. So naturally, we become dogs or we become a cheater because of our mother. When you think as young as you have, or if you have little son, little nephews, they mama.
Okay. Bowtie, we got you to come back. You got to come back, baby.
Hey, Joe.
Go ahead, Sean. Go ahead.
I'm not trying to be solution-based, right? So as we round out the bottom of this conversation, if anybody watching the show and maybe your child is still small or maybe not even a parent just yet, how can we foster more honesty in the household? This whole thing been about not having honesty. How do we foster more honesty between the parent and the children at an early age so Whenever they become teenagers, they're more honest. Like, look, daddy, I'm thinking about doing this. Look, mom, I've been feeling this lately.
Mhm.
And be comfortable
We,
telling you all those things, and not
we
want to
we have to
hide.
we,
Hello,
we
Not
have
want
we have to get the
Joe.
Crystal Sisters to start teaching Black women in general how to be muses in motherhood, because this is something that a lot of us didn't get. We got micromanaging mothers or mothering energy, but there's a small subsection of Black women who understand how to be mothers and muses. And especially that's important for having young Black boys, where when he makes his mistakes, you don't chastise him. You listen to the mistakes. You might even laugh a little bit with them, and okay, that was the mistake. Well, we know not to do that again, and because you can always bring it to him. If you lied about not doing your homework, and okay, well, why didn't you want to do it? Okay, no need to chastise him, no need to punish him, no need to make him give. I understand it. It's boring. I think women have to tap into muse motherhood the same way that we want women to tap into being muse wives and girlfriends. That also has to apply in their motherhood. And if that can happen, you don't lie to your muse, because there's no point to lie to the muse. The muse is only trying to keep you on the path that you're on and give you the motivation for you to stay on that path. So there's no reason to lie to your bartender, because there's no reason to lie to your muse, because you have a truthful relationship.
You,
I
you know,
think that's
But
the solution.
I
go
think
ahead, brother.
Joe, as I was saying, Joe, before I got cut off, uh, mothers endorse a lot of bullshit. When I was younger, my mom used to allow her friends to say, "Oh, wait, little Tony, that's my little boyfriend." Not knowing when I was 13 years old, I end up having sex with the same lady who's supposed to be my godmama. Or at church.
Yeah,
So you don't
yeah.
mind, you
See,
don't mind, you don't mind your son having girlfriends at school. Mothers even give them games. So that little girl like you, go buy her a cookie, huh? Take this for your little girlfriend. But with girls, they are a lot more stricter. But with
Mhm.
boys, they endorse them ever since they're a little boy. Oh, your little wee wee got on hard for that little girl.
Hey, hey,
So
hey,
we don't, as we grow up, only thing that we do, we just mastered that whole
hey,
goddamn art and be
bow
like, oh,
tie,
I know how to do
bow
this.
tie. You went somewhere that you kind of glazed over it, but we need to
Mm.
really pause for a second. Do you know how many 13, 14, 15, 16, and 17-year-old boys have slept with their mama's best friend?
Mm.
Are they so-called play auntie?
Mm-hmm.
Hey, listen, family. Well, once again, it is now. Here's the thing: women that talk about, oh no, my daughter can't go over to Uncle So and So's house. You know how my daughter don't need to sit on so and so's lap. But my son, I got to go on a date. Can you watch my son? Not knowing the reason
Mm-hmm.
that old Tina don't mind watching your son, because your son's serving her that sausage.
Mm-hmm.
But we don't want to talk about that.
We
See,
don't.
see, because
And
the guilty party in our community got to be the terrible Black man. That's why I'm gonna say it again. Had a person reach out to me and said, "Ooh, why you put that little statement about the privileged white woman?" Because I'm tired of these privileged white women trying to make it seem like they've been through what we've been through. You ain't been through nothing I've been through. So stop trying to go ahead and every time you get caught up in your own BS, try to provocate that, oh, we're the same. No, you're not like us. I'm Kendrick Lamar. You're nothing like us. And to be exact, every day your slip is showing and you're being exposed. And I don't care how much you show up in the Black neighborhood. I don't care how much you try to do whatever. At the end of the day, you still came from a silver spoon in your mouth.
and Joe, why you mention that? That's something that we don't take serious in our community. Is the molestation or rape of men and young men
Mm.
in our community? Um, And I don't care. I barely talk to family anyway. But I got one particular aunt. Ever since I was little, Joe. Ever since I can remember when I was 4 years old, everybody liked spending night at this aunt house because she allowed a lot of molestation to go on. A lot of cousins, hunching cousins. She'll bring neighbors over, neighbor kids over. Her house was always full of, and it never changed. I'm 40 years old, and there's still stories of kids being touched or molested at a house. And I'm like, why the hell y'all let your kids go over a house? My son's 23 and 21 years old. They never spent the night at this house because I already know what goes on over there.
See,
But
and
we
that's
don't
what
take
we
it
don't want to.
serious. And when we address it, or whether we call the police or whether we tell our parents or whatnot, they don't take it serious. I always told my family, hey, if anybody ever molest my kids, I'm gonna be like Joke on my mugshot.
Hey, we're
I'm gonna
going
wear
a
a
little
purple suit
overtime.
and all.
We got to go a little overtime, and I'm gonna if y'all can stay as long as y'all can, we're gonna stay a little bit longer. Let me say the following. And once again, this is to all my spiritual folks, better yet, not to my spiritual folks. Y'all know what time it is. To my religious folks, y'all got one more time to get in my inbox, and I'm gonna start posting what you posting in my inbox on here. First of all, let's make clear something. The snake came to Eve. The snake didn't come to Adam. Now y'all can keep on making that little story that y'all make up that's not even in the book. Y'all can keep on trying to tailor it. Oh, Adam was too busy out in the field taking care of stuff. It don't say that in the book. It say the snake came to Eve, period. So wait a minute. I'm not going to sit here and take the blame. I will take the responsibility though. Hold it. And it's a difference between the blame and the responsibility. To be accountable, but to be the person who committed the crime is two different things. Guess what? I need to take accountability if I haven't been a good parent and little Johnny out there terrorizing everybody. But I don't need to suffer any of the punishment of Johnny's terrorization. I need to be accountable and say, you know what? Maybe I wasn't a good parent to little Johnny. But when Johnny's out there stealing, robbing, killing, I don't need to take on any of the punishment of what little Johnny's crimes produced. I need to take accountability that maybe I wasn't a good parent to little Johnny. And y'all get that always confused. Accountability and crime committed. Because what y'all want to say is, no. You responsible for what he did. No, I'm not. He got his own reprobated mind. He can do whatever he want to do whenever he want to do it. I'm not accountable for his actions. I am accountable for his rearing.
But if you weren't given the power to actually properly rear, then no, you don't have it. Then you have no, it's not on you. If you were not in the process of if for any reason you wanting to help mold your child has been disrespected or disregarded, and then no, it's not your fault. That's just the truth, logically speaking.
I want
Because
to.
yeah, go. Sorry, Sean, you've been trying to say something for a bit. My bad.
I just want to go over what Brother Bowtie said, man. Whenever my oldest son made 21, 22, give or take, now my personal rule, I barely and rarely post my family on social media. You can say what you want about me, but don't talk about my kids and my spouse. I don't play that. So I barely post my kids. But posting my son and seeing the amount of grown women that had something to say toward my son in a sexual implying manner was sickening. It was sickening, bro. And I do take it seriously.
At what age did you start noticing it?
Well, he's like 26 now. This is like 4 or 5 years ago. Dark skin, gray smile.
I'm already noticing for my son who's
They
six
just,
years
that
old over
talking,
here.
this and that. Like, wait a minute. That's my son.
Yeah.
And
I'm seeing
you
it
are
at
my
6 years
kid.
old
That's
over
my
here.
son. If I holler at your daughter, that'd be something.
Yeah.
If I comment on your daughter post, if I comment on your daughter
But
picture,
like look at what we consider the norm in our community, and we have to change it. You have a little young man that's 8 or 10 or 12 years old. It's like we became numb to a woman say, "Oh, come here, handsome. Oh, you so handsome. Just look at you." Like we ignore that, not knowing that that's a sign. And
The
if it
little
was
tickles.
reversed,
Yep.
you cannot tell a 13-year-old little girl, "Oh, you so beautiful. Oh my God, look at you." A man can't say that to a little girl. But we
Listen,
became numb to them actually plotting and planning on us.
listen, with these Epstein files and what's going on right now, listen, once again, pay attention. Pay attention. As you just said, and here's the crazy thing. Some of us might not want to admit it, but some of us have dated women, been in love with women, and have had some types of relationship with women that they didn't cheat on us, but I promise you they done slept with some young men, some much younger men than us. Because listen, and there's two things I'm convinced that a lot of women have done, but they ain't never gonna tell you they did it. One is they've slept with a very younger man than their age, and two, if they're Caucasian, they've been with a man not of the Caucasian persuasion. Just like us black men, a lot of us have been with women that are not of the black persuasion, black and brown persuasion. Guess what? We might not. Some of the most Mgawa brothers. I'm like, really, bruh? I remember you back in the day.
My first time saying this on the air, right? But the both times revealed something very, very personal and transparent, and I appreciate that. So in my former life, I was a bodybuilder, right? I was in the gym 7 days a week, the classic typical thing, fitness-wise. Let's say the amount of people that touched me without my permission, touched me, broke me, grabbed me, you name it. But in the male community, it's not talked about from us. But if a woman go through that, that's kind of talked about.
Yeah.
The amount of guys that get touched, unprovoked, just touched and grabbed and just
from the man's point of view, you're gay if you don't accept that. When you try to even voice that to your guy friends, like, yo, man,
and we
what you
have
didn't
this,
want, even if she's ugly, even if she is the town bop, even if she is a complete evil woman, if you do not accept her sexual advances, then you are clearly gay.
Well, you guys know in my art form that I do for free time, I like to smoke cigars. And oftentimes women come in and they try their best to maneuver how the cigar lounge should flow. They should tell us how, like they try to tell us about our conversation. Luckily, most of the men I smoke cigars with are retired, or they work in law enforcement, or they work in judicial, they are the lawyer or a judge or something like that. And we always correct them. And the women don't like it. I mean, like sometimes they leave bad reviews on the cigar lounge, but this is our culture. This way men come at to have manly conversation. We don't mind a woman smoking a cigar. Go ahead, have your cigar. But while we talking over here, don't tell us, oh, why you guys so biased and sexist? Nah, baby, this is 8 men talking. We talk about our relationship like you smoke your cigar and look at the water or look at TV or hell, read a magazine or whatnot. But don't try to influence our culture and tell us that we need to change the way that we view and we see things. But they ignore a lot of our issues. But one thing that I noticed with women, in particular black women, long as they keep us on the edge, we'll be on the edge. And that's what they always do. They always flood our mind with problems, issues, concern, and frustration. There's not any time, well, barely. I say it happened about 2 or 3 times a year they allow us to be happy. But really think about it, Joe, Broker Bolin, and Sean P. It's football season. They know we love football, right? Some way, somehow, they still want us to do shit on Saturdays and Sundays, knowing all we want to do is just sit down and look at football.
Because
But they will intentionally tell you when you gonna fix the dough. Can you take the garbage out before you watch football?
Bowtie, I said it. They list is as long as from here to Pasadena. But our list is simple. If a man has a list over 5, I like to talk to him. Most men are very simple. Feed me, F me, give me a little peace and space, and listen, allow me to see a little football, hang with the guys every once in a while, and I'll do whatever the hell you want me. Guess what?
Joe, if I can get those 3, and I love sport, I will forsake every sport, watch a sport, will not play. If I can get those first 3, I will completely disavow all sports.
Okay, let me knock on wood, and I'm not trying to go nowhere and offend nobody, especially the person who happens to carry my last name. But I will say this: there was a time in my life with my oldest son's mother. She got it. She understood. I don't have to sit here and argue with this brother. I don't have to sit here and ask this man for nothing. Guess what? I would wake up some mornings and be like, "Oh, what is this? What is it? What's this? Oh, okay." And then all of a sudden, after all that, guess what she would say? She would say something simple like, I was thinking about doing such and such and such. And guess what I would say? Oh, girl.
Let me get that for you.
Go ahead, baby.
Just do it. Just do it. It's good.
Do you need the card? Do you need me to drive?
Right. Hold on.
The car keys is on the corner. The credit card is in the dresser. If you need cash, it's in the sock.
Hold on.
Joe, this is very important. Just hold up. Did you see how we just agreed and we just gave them free game?
Right.
We just said that when she come around, said, "Do you need the card? Do you need me to drive? Do you need me?"
Wait. Good for JJ will have you pick up your girlfriend's baby daddy and drop him off at work. Hey,
it really will though.
Hey,
why have I done that?
I need you to go pick up Billy Bob, and he need to get to work. And you and listen, he ain't got no way to work. Ain't that your baby daddy? Yeah, but baby, I need you to go do it. I'm on my way.
Shout out Marcella Barksdale in Woodbridge, Virginia.
Love it, but we telling y'all, see, one thing I got respect of when I'm on this thing here now and I watch stuff, There's a girl, she from my hometown of Memphis. Her saying is simple: slurp them. And she be straight up telling folks, hey, y'all over here, blah, blah, blah. I'm going to slurp them because guess what? Believe it or not, these women want us to slurp them too. See, here's the thing. Here's the different thing. They will make it clear. Some of them will make it clear. This is what I do. This is what I've been. Because once again, my man told me when I got to Germany, bro, you've been buying it. Listen, either legally or illegally, it's out. Listen, look at the stuff we got to do. Just look, ask yourself, what do you have to do to keep peace in your house?
So, Joe,
look, get her list, get your list, and make a comparison of the list and see who list is deeper and who list is more intense.
So, Joe, in the last 2 minutes, this is an example of us being brutally honest and some folks not being able to probably take and receive what we're saying right now. The last 2 minutes of this conversation. This is an example of the whole conversation, right? Being honest and not learning, right?
I think we really want, ladies, we want to be honest with you. We really do. But again, you have to create a space that allows us to be honest with you. And if you are operating in mother energy, you have to look inward and realize that you're not allowing us to be honest with you. Yeah. If you understand how to be a muse, women who have been bartenders, who have given good sage advice to men, they understand, and men see the value in being honest with them and being vulnerable with them because they know they're going to get something back that they can intrinsically use. So make sure, women, if you want to have your sons be honest with you, your man to be honest with you, your father to be honest with you, your boss to be honest with you, then be a space that where he can come to you and tell you what's really going on, and you don't berate him, chastise him, share it with your female friends in the group chat, but just ingest it, alchemize it, and give it back to him as something. Even if you don't have advice, then the next day just come back and give him a damn plate of food. And hey, I listened to what you said yesterday, and I didn't have any advice, but I just wanted to bring you this to kind of hope that it keeps you on your journey. Boom, that's a muse. Not, hey, you should be doing this and this and this, and I got this friend over here who can maybe help you with this idea that you're having, and now you're being a manager. Now you're being a mommy manager. And men don't want that. The only men who do want that are the men who want to use that, and then they're going to leave you.
See, because a lot of men came from single parent homes. That's what they want. They want mommy. They want mommy in a different form. But let us be real here. But click, like, and share. A lot of you can't handle the truth. That's why one of the best lines ever in a movie came from A Few Good Men. Listen, you can't handle the truth. And guess what? Men can't handle the truth. Women can't handle the truth. That door swing both ways. Men, if you really knew, hold it. Men, if you really knew her body count, if you really knew her body count, you can see. Here's the thing. See, I keep on going back because some of y'all don't read. John, you done turned me on to something. You done got me back to my love. Boy, when you read, see, hold on. Broken Berlin, I need you back, baby. I need you back. Hold on. Before we close out this thing, I need you back. But here, when you read, you find out, here's the reason why the man said, he that free of sin cast the first stone. So let me understand this. Because you don't think I saw her creeping over to your house at 2 a.m. and because you want to join in with everybody else and call her a hoe and say this and that. Well, hold up. You done partaked of this woman. But now because you don't think nobody saw her coming out your house at 3 a.m, you want to be one of the first people to say, nah, she ain't nothing, let's condemn her. See, that's our problem. Some of the same folk that are out there trying to tell you who to like and who not to like are the same folk behind closed doors where they think that you don't see them. They dealing with them folk. And see, we got to stop that, man. We got to be real about some stuff. We got to be real and just get to a place where we understand that it is what it is. I pray that Broken Berlin comes back. Oh, maybe something happened. He sent me a message. Hold on. Okay. So I know, Sean, you got to go. So let's start closing out. Sean, let's get it.
Well, folks, as always, man, go and check out the Sean P Experience here on YouTube. Like it, subscribe, share. I probably have over 100 interviews now at this point. I don't know, I done lost count, but a lot of information. Authors, illustrators, filmmakers, athletes, you name it. I've talked about it on the Sean P Experience. Thank you very, very much. Joe Dupree in the morning show.
Hey, that's it. Brother Bowtie, give it up, baby.
What it is or what it ain't, and what we gonna do about it. Let's talk about it. Let's do something about it. Sorry for not wearing the bow tie, but I promise the bow tie will be back. If you wish to follow me at Bowtie Untied or Antonio Coat. Wish to support my business, go to www.brothersbowties.com. My word for the day: find someone, hug someone, and love someone. That's it. You guys have a nice day.
That part. All right, family. Listen, I was hoping that Jason made his way back. If he doesn't, hopefully he'll come back tomorrow. We're going to continue this conversation. This is a good thing to go into the holidays because there is a lot of expectation put on Black men during the holidays. We are expected to provide, to prove, and to do a lot during Thanksgiving and the Christmas season. Don't disturb your mental space or your bank account trying to make some folks happy that will never be happy no matter what you do. Oh, I had to say it, family. And I want y'all to pay attention. Pay attention. Your mental health matters. Don't drive yourself crazy trying to buy stuff for folks. Don't go broke and in debt trying to do stuff for folks who really, it ain't going to make that big of a difference. Many of us do that too many times. Time for me to get up out of here. 22 minutes past the hour. I was trying to go all the way to the bottom of the hour at the 30 and get up out of here, but I got to get up out of here now. Listen, I always end it the same way every time. Be better today than you were yesterday. And do something today to bless somebody somewhere, somehow, that no matter what you do, there's no earthly way that you could ever pay, they could ever pay you back. Because what you did it freely from the heart. On the behalf of Brother Bowtie, Sean P. and the Sean P. Experience, my man Jason Washington over there in Berlin, Germany, Broken Berlin. Yours truly, Joe Dupree. I end it as I end it every time. Remember that there is no secret, absolutely no secret what God can do. What he has done for others, he will and he can do for you, for when God is with you. Nothing or no one can stand against you. Be blessed. Have a great day. Friday, Junior. Hopefully the sun will come up tomorrow and it'll be Friday. Freedom and Fun Friday. He that the sun sets free is free indeed. We up out of here. We'll be back tomorrow. Peace.